Oh yeah, Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe as y'all tap on in. Salute to everybody pulling up, showing love to the channel, man. Shout out to VIP Auction Group with a donation to the Cash App. Salute to you, baby. I appreciate you. Also, shouts out to Don Bazil or Basil with the donation to the Cash App. You sent a nice size donation. Salute to you, ma'am. Brian Barnes, salute to you with the donation to the Cash App. Oxy, salute to you with the donation to the Cash App. Joyce Lago, I appreciate you coming through with a nice donation to the Cash App. Of course, VIP Auction, Dwayne Croon, salute to all of y'all showing love to the channel, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. And we're going to get right into this, man. It's justice. It seems that if it's going to be served in this case, this guy, he thought he was going to get away with this. Mr. Abercrombie and Fitch, right? The former CEO, Mike Jeffries, and everybody thought this story was going to go away. Nope. Not going away. Everybody thought he was going to duck around. Nope. Now, for you guys who don't know what's going on, this guy had been accused of some of the most disgusting, nasty, dishonorable, disrespectful, loathsome, low down, dirty, nasty, filthy, funky, disgusting allegations known to mankind. And when I say all those words, I mean every last word of it, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Uh, you know, this guy, absolutely disgusting, right? Um, Mike Jeffries, who was a former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, this guy, he basically is old, 80 something years old, if I'm not mistaken. And they were trying to use an excuse that he was so old that he wasn't going to be competent enough to face trial. He was competent to go in the courtroom and get bail. They was trying to say, oh, well, he might not be competent enough to face trial, so he may not face trial. Well, today, his dreams got shattered. You understand what I'm saying? Shattered. As today, ladies and gentlemen, right now, the report has come out that this guy, who had been accused of doing the unthinkable, will stand trial. So he has been ruled and deemed fit to stand trial, and his eyes will be getting on that courtroom ASAP. Now, according to reports out of NewYorkPost.com, Mike Jeffries, he is fit to stand trial on the sex trafficking charges the prison officials are reporting. Now, he served as the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch from 92 to 2014, you guys, during which the company became known for its provocative marketing targeting young men with idealized images of male models, if you guys remember. So allegations against him first surfaced publicly in October 2023 through a BBC investigative report, which that report detailed claims of sexual exploitation against these boys. Now, this led to a federal investigation by the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York on October 22nd, 2024. Now, Mike Jeffries, his longtime romantic partner, a man by the name of Matthew Smith, who's 61 years old, and an associate of his by the name of James Jacobson, who's 72 years old. They were arrested and indicted on federal charges, right? Now, the case, it basically echoed a 2023 class action civil lawsuit against Abercrombie and Fitch, which accused that company of enabling a sex trafficking operation during Mike Jeffries' tenure. Now, if you guys remember, this guy was accused of all kind of nasty stuff, man. He was accused of, putting stuff up dudes' beefcakes to pump them up and make them bigger. He was accused of putting enemas in these dudes' backsides in order to blow their guts out to get them prepared for whatever he was going nasty thing he was going to do to him. Um, and anyways, there was a 16 count indictment charge where Mike Jeffries, Mr. Smith, and Mr. Jacobson, with one count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 15 counts of interstate transportation for the prostitution purposes of prostitution per one alleged victim, right? So the prosecutors described the vast enterprise that spanned from December of 2008 to March 2015, and during which the defendants allegedly spent millions of dollars to recruit, transport, and coerce at least 15 identified victims. many aspiring models aged 19 or older, now into sex events for their gratification. Now, the operation involved dozens and dozens of men overall, with events held in luxury locations including New York City, the Hamptons, London, Paris, Cannes, Milan, Ibiza, Marrakech, and St. Bart's. Now, basically, they said that he acted as a middleman, used a referral system and interview process to scout vulnerable young men, often via online modeling sites or Abercrombie store employees. Recruits were promised career boosting opportunities such as modeling gigs or industry connections, but were not informed of the sexual nature of the events. Now, some underwent what they call tryouts involving sex acts with Mr. Jacobson before being selected. Now, transportation and deception basically was involved where the defendants were allegedly paid for domestic and international travel, for dozens of men, flights, hotel rooms, providing fake itineraries resembling professional photo shoots. Now, the victims were lured with assurances of networking or Abercrombie contracts. Now, once at these events, the men were confined to suites or hotel rooms, required to surrender their cell phones and wallets to paid household staff who acted as supervisors and security, and they were allegedly forced to consume alcohol, drugs, including Viagra and other substances, and engage in violent and exploitive sex acts, such as anal, use of sexual toys and their you know whats, and other objects. And their non-compliance was met with threats to the career prospects or physical intimidation. Now, victims were not allowed to leave until these guys, these creeps, alleged creeps, deemed that the events were over with. Now, the operation relied on non-disclosure agreements, the NDAs, for staff and participants' cash payments to the victims, totaling hundreds of thousands of dollars, and a network of employees, contractors, and security professionals to maintain silence. Now, prosecutors allege the defendants exploited Mr. Jeffries' CEO status, wealth, and influence to prey on financially vulnerable men in the cutthroat fashion industry. Now, U.S. Attorney Breon Peace stated that Jeffrey, Smith, and Jacobson used their money and influence to prey on vulnerable men for their own sexual gratification. Now, if convicted, Jeffrey faces a mandatory minimum of 15 years in prison on a sex trafficking count, potentially up to life in prison. Which, if he gets 15, he's done anyways. He's 80 years old. So, anyways, the indictment draws from accounts of 15 victims, but media investigations and civil lawsuits have amplified details of over 20 men who came forward, right? Now, a 20-year-old aspiring model in Spain alleged that Mr. Jeffries forcibly kissed him, ignored repeated no's, and performed oral sex on him in a hotel room despite the man's pleas to leave. Now, multiple men described being injected with unknown drugs to ensure compliance or being pressured into group sex acts while under the influence. Now, one anonymous victim interviewed by the BBC and FBI recounted being shocked by the events, intensity, and feeling trapped, with assistants in Abercrombie uniforms facilitating the abuse. Now, victims often reported long-term trauma, including career derailment and psychological harm, with some stating that they were ruined at vulnerable points in their lives. Now, in that lawsuit filed by three anonymous plaintiffs, they accused Abercrombie of complicity, right? Claiming that scouts scoured the internet for victims, and that the company ignored red flags as of 2024. Now, eight more men have publicly alleged abuse to the BBC, describing a sophisticated operation with assistants traveling globally to organize events. Now, these guys all pled not guilty. They got bond, you know what I'm saying? And, apparently Jeffrey's lawyer said he was suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's and Lewy body dementia and traumatic brain injury and all this other stuff. But as of today, they said his ass is going to trial. As his lawyer tried to say he was unfit. Well, he was fit when he allegedly was sticking them things up them boys. You know what? See, this is the problem I got. Now they tried to run that card, but it wasn't going to work. Thank God it didn't work. Put his ass in the courtroom, and you know what I'm saying? If they find him guilty, lock his ass up forever and a day. He needs to be locked up forever and a day under the prison for the type of stuff he was accused of. I mean, they said these dudes was giving. They said they were giving these boys full blown, power enemas that would just completely clean their guts out. So then when they wanted to do whatever they was gonna do with them, they didn't have to worry about the boo boo everywhere. It's just some nasty stuff going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Just some sick, wicked, nasty, just disgusting, dishonorable type of allegations going on, man. And like I said before, just absolutely disgusting. They were saying that these dudes was allegedly sticking things up these dudes' beefcake holes and putting them inside of them and pumping them up and making them all kind of stuff. It's just nasty, man. Just doing stuff to make sure that these dudes was walking around like The Rock. You know what I'm saying? If you catch my drift, just some nasty stuff, man. And these are all the type of devils, allegedly, that's walking around here, man. Hey, listen, man. I told you I got no space for none of these clowns. None of them. All these old weirdo. I don't even want to say the word on YouTube. Bleep erotic type cats that's out here on cap. Get them out of here, bro. I don't have no time to be sitting here capping for them. Talking about this dude out here giving these dudes top and forcing them to give each other top and all this other stuff just to be a model. Man, come on, man. He got to go, bro. I don't give a damn what nobody say. He got to go. Period. And I hope that he gets life if he's found guilty. I don't want no leniency if he's found guilty. I want him to get a life sentence if he's found guilty. Because what all these boys got to come out here and lie about? Just make it make sense. Why would all these boys come out here and just make this stuff up? Make it make sense. Why would they just come out here and say, hey, man, this dude was sticking stuff up us and forcing us and using a career opportunity? Why would he do that if it wasn't true? Why would they say that if it wasn't true? I just don't see them dudes coming out here saying that. I don't see him making that stuff up, man. You, like I said, sick. Look at this guy. That's all you need to know, in my opinion, right there. Just looking at him makes me sick to my stomach. But, to each his own. Some of y'all like that type of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, man, nah, man, I don't roll like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on this whole weirdo type time, man. You know what I mean? I stand against all this type of weirdo, demonic activity, man. Real talk, man. You know what I mean? Them dudes, man, you allegedly put them dudes in a position to choose between a career. There's some casting couch type of shit, man. And like I said, it's a lot of these weirdos that's out here. And I'm glad they didn't let this weasel off the hook, trying to use an excuse, talking about some, yeah, man, I'm dealing with some health issues. Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that, bro. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. You got all these dudes out here accusing you of sex trafficking them and all kind of sexual violations of men. Absolutely disgusting. And if you their parents, how do you feel about your kid getting exploited like that, allegedly? By these weirdos. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. So again, I never stand on the side of weirdo activity. Never. I don't give a damn what you look like. You know what I mean? I don't stand on the side of this weirdo type of erotic behavior and stuff like that from these dudes. Like I said before, I'm cut from a different cloth, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like, share, subscribe. This weasel gonna face trial, man. And hopefully they find his ass guilty and lock him and them other bums up that was with him. All three of them. Just put their ass all in the same cell forever. Like, share, subscribe, man. Y'all let me know what y'all feel. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe once again. There are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there. You can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drop weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also,
We just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.